Welcome back to Network Africa. Now, there's speculation that the African National Congress chief whip could be the start of a broader shake-up in the party's parliamentary caucus. The move was announced at a hastily convened caucus meeting yesterday, as speculation mounted in the corridors. As a result of Mr. Sizani's deputy, Doris Lakude, has now been made the acting chief whip based on his resignation. The ANC's 11th chief whip in 19 years, that's Mr. Sizani, has been redeployed to become South Africa's ambassador to Germany. According to Mr. Sizani, he was actually informed of the decision last week. Let's just take a quick look at his profile. Mr. Sizani became the former ANC chief whip based on his resignation yesterday. He was also a former member of the National Assembly. He's also a former political prisoner on Robben Island, where the late Nelson Mandela also served time, and he served time from 1978 to 1990. Well, Lucas Malloy, who is the CEO of Junto Media, joins us right now from South Africa. Mr. Malloy, thank you very much for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, Cynthia, and good day to you.
Good day to you, Mr. Malloy. Thank you very much for your time. Now, is this resignation of Mr. Sizani, how important is it? Would it really impact the ANC in a significant way?
Look, I think, Cynthia, it's an indication of a bigger problem that is happening in the ANC. One shouldn't look at it in isolation of everything that is happening. I think we're starting to see cracks showing in the ANC itself. We're having some of their critical senior members starting to resign and moving away from around the president, and that can only spell trouble.
But really, we're seeing, from what we're seeing, what analysts are saying, they're saying that this could be the start of a major shake-up. So what do you think we're going to see happen in the ANC in days to come?
Look, I think what we would see is that probably the top brass at ANC are starting to remove themselves a little bit from protecting the president. You would remember people like Mr. Sizani were people that were protecting the president when it came to Nkandla. These were people that were sticking to the story that the president was saying. And with the president coming in now and saying, listen, I'm now going to pay the money, and that sort of undermines and really defeats what they have been standing for. Now everyone is looking at them and saying, listen, you've been protecting this man and saying that everything was done above board. Why is he now saying he will pay? And they are sort of left outside in the cold. So I think we're going to start seeing really an exodus of the top brass of the ANC trying to move and finding a camp that is a little bit stable and safer for their political career.
Final question, Mr. Malloy. It's been a very big week in South Africa, first of all with the vote of no confidence, which President Zuma survived, and now the resignation of Mr. Sizani. How much confidence do South Africans have in the ruling party at the moment, based on what's been going on lately?
I think generally, you would remember that the South African vote, it's really not a vote of competency of government. It's a vote of history. It's a vote of where the nation comes from. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the vote for the ANC, the majority probably still hold the vote and confidence in the ANC. I think it is more of the leadership that the majority of the people are having a problem with. And with South Africans, if we have seen through all the elections and that does not mean they will change their vote.
Well, let's see how it all plays out later on. Mr. Lucas Malloy, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa. We appreciate your time. Now, finally on the program, in an attempt to provide a safe environment for people to live without the threat of war resurfacing, the United Nations Mine Action Service has opted to conduct a controlled demolition of 150 kilograms of mines and loaded armament. Speaking more on the matter, the former UN Secretary General, that's Mr. Kofi Annan, has opened the first international pledging conference for the implementation of an anti-mine ban.
The United Nations Mine Action Service conducted controlled demolitions of 150 kilograms of mines and unexploded ordnance, which they had cleared from various locations around Unity States. Seamus McManaming, the operations officer of UN Mass Bentiu, says the clearance of these items will help provide a safe environment for people to live without the threats of remnants of war, as well as provide a safe supply route for humanitarian aid and enable the mobility of UN MIS. There were a number of mined roads both historically and in the recent conflict. The role of UN MAS is to make sure that these mines are removed to enable supplies and humanitarian actors to reach the people who most need them. Areas where unexploded ordnance were left are clinics, schools and around boreholes after recent fighting by forces leaving ammunition behind. In a push to put an end to explosive ordnance, former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan in Geneva opened the first international pledging conference for the implementation of the Anti-Personnel Mine Ban Convention, but stating that the mine action community has now grown to include thousands of organizations throughout the world and encompassing the UN, civil society, business and of course more states.
Their work was has largely halted the production and trade in landmines. Collectively, the states parties have destroyed almost 50 million stockpiled anti-personnel mines.
The purpose of the pledging conference is to renew and strengthen commitment to the principles of the Anti-Personnel Mine Ban Convention and to commit resources for implementation. More than $600 million is being invested every year in mine action in general, and implementation of the convention is an important part of this effort. The landmark treaty banning landmines known as the Ottawa Convention came into force in 1999 and has the support of 162 states. This includes most of the states that at one time used, stockpiled, produced or transferred anti-personnel mines.
Now here's our question of the day. We're asking, do you think Ahmadeldine El Said will be deported? He is the one who posted on Facebook that he was willing to kill Republican politician Mr. Donald Trump. Feel free to send us your feedback either by email or Twitter. The address and handles are right there on your screen. Thank you so much for watching Network Africa on Channels Television. I'm Cynthia Are.